A short one. Hope you all are spending time with your family, your friends. But I had two more podcast reels that I have not edited yet. That is meant to promote a most recent podcast, just in case for those of you that have not seen the latest podcast yet. Go to youtube.com/ at Kent underscore Kent Fahey, and you're gonna see the latest podcast I released with Trevor. Trevor is one of the trustees for the LA County Pension Fund. Dude, talk about getting into the mindset of someone that understands how to make decisions and investment options and evaluate investments like an institutional investor. That's what he's doing with Copa right now. So I definitely encourage you to check out that podcast, see what Trevor is doing, because I think it would be a mistake if you don't learn about the questions that people ask whenever they're evaluating an investment. Again, this is not investment advice. I'm not soliciting any investments from anybody. I'm just simply sharing with you the thoughts, the frameworks that people apply to evaluating investments so that you can decide whether or not that's appropriate for you. All right. So let's see. I got two more podcast reels. How do you evaluate an investment opportunity?
I'll start from the smaller, from like what an average person can look at an asset because the principles are actually still the same. So you want something ultimately that will go up in value over time. Let's say you could own a business and the business sells cookies and the cookie business gives you $1,000 a month and you can own it for 10 years. How much can I sell it for? How confident are you that you can make $1,000 a month? How confident are you that you can grow that $1,000 a month, which is essentially your dividend? It's your profit, but ultimately it's like your dividends for how much you paid. And then the other day, it's like how much would they sell it for? So that's one type of thing. So then that cash flows. Different kind of thing is saying, all right, I may not be able to get the money back in 10 years, so I'm going to put in $1,000,000. How much money do I need to be able to get in 10 years for me to feel like that was worth it to me? Because that's your reversion value. And you can find every possible thing about what could go wrong. But I feel pretty good that that's a pretty low risk. Then you have an asset because you've thought about it as an investment. You've thought about how to be able to measure it. You thought about what it should be able to get you over time. You can apply that to anything.
How do you evaluate? So the first one, first video, we should call that title. We should call that title. How to apply Okay, now the question, the second one is going to be what's this?
You have $1,000,000 in cash. You really don't have anything. You have $700. And that sounds great. But the thing is, if you can make an 8% or 7% return, that's all but the easier if you have that dragging you down. And you also need to have something like cash, and it doesn't have to be in cash, so you're going to have a low return. You might get some low money, maybe 5 or 6%, which means that's going to be that everything else in your portfolio needs to get you much way above the 8% so you can get them together. Those things that you're betting on within the economy that get you above that 8%, and that's what you're talking about, like the value added. But at the end of the day, if you find something that is a big enough trend to say, I'm betting on this thing, right? And find people who manage it essentially who can execute on that trend. So some people will say, I see affordable housing as weak because if it's built, people will get this for sure. But then how much is it possible to get that affordable housing? So you're putting all that back to real estate bucket, but you have to do the same thing for private equity. So if you're doing real estate, if you're commercial real estate, you list the company.
So that's how I'm going to decide what all these videos are, right? So I come up with these questions that different investment venues. So I come up with these different titles, right? Because I want to help people understand how do pension funds evaluate decisions way different than anybody else. So if you want to get ahead of what a trustee, not the day-to-day guy, but a trustee for an $80 billion pension fund, right? This is the video you want to watch. because you want to figure out how do they evaluate decisions differently than an everyday investor. Because if you want to level up, you have to understand how do people at the next level think. All right. Hope this helpful, everybody. Again, I am so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast. Like, if I always like to say, if it wasn't for people like you, I would never had the home I grew up in. And I mean that sincerely. And all your support over the last couple of years has gotten this podcast to be self sustaining, meaning it has become a habit of mine to keep the project going, to keep the podcast going. And this inevitably has gotten my family so much positive karma that has helped, frankly, my family a lot this week. We had a medical emergency, and I am confident that I know that the positive energy, the positive karma that we've earned, that we've put it out there from the good energy, the good information that we put out there has helped us and has made such a big difference. And there comes a time in your life where you're going to realize, like, wow, all this money was for nothing. Like, what's the point of all this money? And if you had to give it all back for more time with a loved one, you would give that back in a heartbeat. And those moments will come. And I encourage you to always just think about, what am I working for? What's the impact I'm looking to make? And most importantly, how do I want my kids to remember me? And I want my kids to remember me as someone that's just kind of going out there and helping one person at a time. That's it. So I hope you all have an amazing Thanksgiving. Hope you all are feasting today. I hope you all spend some quality time with your family and friends today, because truly that is what life is all about.